Hi, Facebook. Something happening on my head. Just gonna give this a second and let some people come on. Do me a favor, when you come on here, say hello to me. Tell me where you're coming from so I can say hello back to you. I have something that I have been holding in for, I don't know, a couple of months. And so it's possible that I'm gonna get a little fired up. So this is really, hi Tara, hi Natalie, hi Chief, hi Nicole, hi Kim and Cheryl. Listen guys, so normally I know that me and Stacey come on here and we do fun stuff and we make you laugh, but I just need to come on here and say something. I have been, for those of you who don't know this about me, I have been a traditional brick and mortar business owner since I was about 17 and a half years old, my entire life. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've owned many, many, many businesses. Tara, the reason I'm saying it right is because I have been thoroughly reamed out about saying your name wrong. And so I'm afraid to say it wrong now because it's going to cause marital problems at this point. Anyway, so I have been a traditional business owner essentially my entire life and have learned a lot of hard lessons along the way, have, done a lot of things right, have had massive successes, have done a lot of things wrong, and have had massive failures. And when COVID hit in March, nobody saw that coming. Absolutely nobody. I mean, I was starting to freak out around mid-February, and I called my business partners. I was like, we're going to shut down. And they're like, you're crazy. It's just going to be another thing. It's going to pass by. In the very beginning of March, it was like one day we were fine, and literally the next day, 60% gross sales gone. And by the way, that hasn't come back. So what I'm about to say might piss you off if you own a traditional business, but I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because I do too. And so I'll say what I want. And this is just really how I feel. There's a lot of stuff going around Facebook. Oh, the poor business owners, support local business. I always believe in supporting local business, always, but I don't feel bad for anybody. And here's why. Look, in March, I felt bad. And I laid around and ate pizza and drank wine and complained too. I was right there with you. Like, why me, poor me, what the heck is going on? A business I spent 20 years building is being ripped from my hands to no fault of my own. This pandemic is nobody's fault, right? Well, it's certainly not any of our fault. I don't know out there, it depends who you ask. If it's someone's fault, I don't really know the answer to that. But I know that it's not my fault, and I know that it's not your fault. So we had every right to be angry. I was angry in March, April, even May. I had some days where I just was feeling really angry. There's a deep loss when you lose a business that you built from scratch with your hands. There's a very deep emotional loss associated with that. So that anger is real. But here's the deal. This next shutdown that's coming right now, businesses are getting shut down. You don't get to feel that way. Knock it off. You now knew. You chose not to pivot. You chose not to go online. You chose not to do new things. And, this really came to me a couple weeks ago. I was in Connecticut and I bumped into an old friend of mine who owns a restaurant group. And I was like, hey, man, I've known him for years. I'm like, hey, and I super respect him. Really bright guy. Actually, some of you watching this know his restaurant. I'm not going to name his restaurant. Anyway, I said, how you doing? Oh my gosh, what are you going to do about another shutdown? He said, honestly, I have never worked more in my life. I'm so tired, but I had to figure out how to pivot and shift really quickly. And I'm actually significantly more profitable if we close because of the capacity restrictions. So frankly, I kind of hope we shut down again until we get back to normal. That is an intelligent business owner. He figured it out. Listen, years ago when Main Street started to die, and Main Street did start to die. Sorry if there's Main Street people on here, guys, but you're living a dream. Main Street's dead, okay? Anything other than experiential retail, dying, dead. Why do you think all the big guys are going online? There's a real reason. Pay attention. So you're clinging on to your Main Street business and you refuse to shift or pivot. You refuse to, maybe you own an arts and crafts store on a Main Street. You refuse to go on Etsy and start doing what's happening in the world and paying attention. Look, if this pandemic did nothing else, it taught us all how to shop on Amazon. People who never shopped on Amazon before, on Amazon. Everybody was figuring out how to order things online. That's not going to go back. That just sped up the death of retail. Retail's not going to die tomorrow or the next day, but it's dying. So if you own a small retail store, pay attention and do something and shift and pivot. I got news for you. I haven't taken a paycheck from my brick and mortar business, and neither has my partner. We both pivoted, and we pivoted really fast. We bitched and complained and whined and were mad, and then we pivoted. He pivoted into real estate. I pivoted really strongly into network marketing to build a business over here. He sold $14 million of real estate this year in his first year as a realtor. Call your realtor, ask how much they sold this year, because it's not that much. Real business owners pivot and shift. So guess what? I am not at all, I just don't feel sad for you. It's time to do something. There is another shutdown coming. I don't want to hear you on Facebook crying that you lost your income. Oh, the government shut me down. You knew it was going to happen this time. It wasn't a surprise. Chief, you could read the bottle. Stacy, Chief said he's sad that the Sleep and Activate lookalike took the Activate last night. I bet you didn't sleep then, Chief. I bet you didn't sleep, brother. Listen, I did that one time. I was busy on a phone call and I accidentally took Activate and CBD Energy at night. And as soon as it went down my throat, I realized what I did. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have the worst night of my life. Anyway, I binge watched Netflix that night because there was nothing else to do. But anyway, my point to this live is for the business owners out there making everybody feel like crap because their businesses are getting shut down, they have the exact same opportunity. Real entrepreneurs pivot. No offense, but if you're a real entrepreneur, you have done things. You have done things to either fix the business model you're in so it can operate in this bizarre economy that we're working in, or you have started a new business, you've shifted online. If you own a business, if you built a business from scratch, you have skills. Those are marketable skills. What are you doing with them? Because going home every night and sitting around worrying about it's not going to work out. And furthermore, in case you are not freaked out by this, here's the time to freak out. If you got a PPP loan, don't come on here and tell me you know the answer to this because the IRS doesn't know the answer, so you damn well don't know the answer. If you got a PPP loan, you're sitting in a position right now where you don't even know if that forgivable loan is going to be taxed next year or not. You got a $400,000 PPP loan to make your business survive, and that's how you're surviving, so you chose not to pivot and fix anything. What's going to happen when you have to pay 20% on that $400,000? Do you have it? Have you thought about that? And you don't know the answer, so don't come on here and tell me you don't know the answer, because I promise you, CPAs don't know the answer, the bank doesn't know the answer, and the IRS doesn't know the answer, because I've checked. So all those guys out there that got big, even smaller businesses that got $10,000 PPP loan, could you pay the taxes on that? The income taxes that we haven't been being forced to pay since, I don't know, a couple months ago, you got that sitting somewhere because we're going to have to pay it. Guys, it's time to pivot. You got an EIDL loan, you got a PPP loan maybe, and so you've survived this time. You're going to get shut down again, and I for one, do not want to see whining, crying posts on Facebook. You've had all this time to realize before March of 2020, if you had told me the government could come in and take half your business and shut it down and minimize your capacity to 50%, I would have laughed at you. I'd be like, no, they can't do that. This is America. They're not going to do that to me. Well, now I know better. And now I know that they can, and you do too. And you chose almost an entire year to do nothing, knowing that they said there was going to be further spikes, knowing that they said there could be future shutdowns, and you chose to do nothing. Don't come on here and complain. I don't want to hear it. And nobody should feel sad for you. And those of you listening that don't own businesses, you shouldn't feel sad for them either, because it's time to do something. For those of you who don't own businesses, but you're in jobs, JOB jobs, and you don't have another source of income, time to do something. You also can't say you didn't know. I don't want to hear, oh, I thought I was essential. You know how many people have said that to me? I lost my job. I thought I was essential. The place went out of business. Essential doesn't mean you can't lose your job. Essential means you're allowed to work during a pandemic. It doesn't mean you can't lose your job. So you've learned that over this last almost 12 months and literally chosen to do nothing. I don't feel bad for you. Hi, Brandon. Sorry, I'm a little fired up over here. But anyway, and guys, not for nothing, but when we were talking about the IRS and loans, don't tell me that you know how they're handling that $1,200 they sent y'all, because you don't know, because they don't know, because nobody's bothered to figure it out yet. So is everybody ready? We know that craziness can happen now. So it's time to do something. It was time to do something 6 months ago. If you chose not to, shame on you. Do it now. Seriously, do it now. If you know a business owner or you know people out there crying poverty about this, it's time to share this video and let them hear loudly the truth from another business owner. Marissa, you work in healthcare and turnover is high. That's crazy. You know, Marissa, what's wild to me is that during a pandemic that I had friends that are nurses getting laid off. What? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I believe that too, Nicole. I think we are getting taxed on that $1,200. And if another one comes out, we're going to get taxed on that too. And all these people that took unemployment with the extra $600 and didn't take taxes out of it, y'all ready for that? Are you ready for that? You think you're getting a raise this year? I promise you, I employ 200 people. I'm telling you right now, I have my thumbprint on the pulse. Raises are not happening in most businesses. There are some that are thriving. Look, Walmart's doing great, Amazon's doing great, cool. But many businesses are not thriving. So, what does that say? I am? All right, so many businesses are not thriving, and it's time to, I don't know why he's saying I'm live on Funny Videos admin group. I hope I didn't mean to do that. If somebody reports it, Chief, you will, but I don't think Lakes Region reports it, so you all right. I am taxing you on the $95 you owe me, though, bud. You are getting taxed on that. All right, guys, I hope this didn't hurt anybody's feelings, but it's just truth. It's just the truth. We've had plenty of time to figure this out, plenty of time to do something. Now's the time. Talk to y'all real soon.